Hey everybody, it's Kneecap here, and in this video we're going to be going through the trailer they just dropped for the War Within beta. They dropped like a little, almost like a patch trailer, right? This is very similar to their patch trailers that they do. So we're going to go through this, and I found this to be very interesting. I already watched it once or twice here, but we're going to go through each part of this here. So this is the trailer, just you can watch on YouTube, you can watch it on Twitter, whatever. World of Warcraft just put out.
For so long, I've watched you all. Your mortal struggles, your proud defiance, the loneliness you pretend not to feel.
So this is Illyria, and the voice talking is Zaltalat. That's going to be at least the beginning main villain of the War Within, if not the full main villain of the War Within. And so this is Illyria. She's been watching us, but maybe specifically Illyria. Your mortal struggles, your proud defiance,
your proud defiance,
the loneliness you pretend not to feel,
the loneliness you pretend not to feel.
So her mortal struggle is like, you know, she's doing all this stuff. She's doing the stuff with the void now, right? I think that's probably what it's talking about the most. But all of what she's been through going in through the dark portal, struggles with being a hero but being like a mortal, right? She can die. She can, die. Basically, she can die, right? And then the loneliness you pretend not to feel, like you feel alone. Like this is these what you're gonna see is motifs of things that they're battling inside themselves, which is really nice because it's the war within, and you'll see that here as we go on as well.
You cling to hollow faith that can't sustain you. You revel.
So with Anduin, he clings to a hollow faith that can't sustain him. Well, his faith is the light, right? Sustain means it's not enough by itself. He needs something else other than the light, right? It's so he's always had this kind of struggle with the light. Like the light has always been there for him when he needs it the most, pretty much. Like it always comes, like if the light's failing him, it always comes back at the right moment. And BFA was like a big time where he called upon the light, right? In that opening trailer for BFA. But it's saying here the light can't sustain you. It's not enough for Illyria. You're dabbling with this void. You're dabbling with this, but your mortality. But you're this big hero. You have a family, but you're still lonely. Everything you have is not enough for you. The light's not enough for you, Anduin.
It can't sustain you. You revel in power that cannot withstand what is to come.
You revel in power you cannot stand that cannot withstand what is to come. So this is Jaina, obviously, and Jaina, master of arcane. So we have void, we have light. Now we have a master of the arcane, right? A super strong mage, essentially. And you revel in power that cannot withstand what is to come. And that's like basically saying like Jaina knows that she's not all of her power is just not enough. Like she's always trying to get more powerful because she always wants to save everyone around her. But so what she's struggling with is that it's still not enough, right? And so the light's not enough to sustain Anduin. The arcane is not enough to let Jaina help everyone else, let Jaina save everyone else, which is what she's always trying to do, basically, in her own ways.
To come. You convince yourselves that you are of purpose. That your great deeds can make a difference.
You convince yourself you are of purpose and your great deeds can make a difference. This is Magni in diamond form here. And, he's convinced himself, oh, this diamond form is actually a good thing. I'm going to help save Azeroth. I can make a difference. And now he's like doubting that, right? Like, oh, this isn't, I'm just diamond form Magni. And as soon as Azeroth stops speaking to me, what am I? Like, I'm not making a difference. And so like this new speaker or whatever. He was the speaker of Azeroth. That is not enough. Like that's what we're seeing in this motif through all of these. It's like it's not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough.
But deep down, you know the truth. That when all your illusions are burned away, all that is left is your fury.
And so here we see Thrall. Thrall has always had this kind of thing with the elements, right? And he's like, the elements fail me. But I don't think that's what's happening here. I think this is, again, the elements are not enough. Like, they're not enough for what's coming. Even if the elements are with him, it's not enough. Even if Jaina masters the arcane, it's not enough. The light's not enough. But without those things, all that's left is their fury. And that could mean a lot of things. It can mean that they have anger. It can mean they have other issues, that these purposes, these different strengths that they have are hiding, right? And without them, all that's going to come out is that frustration. All that's going to come out is that anger. It could also just be a more macro view where, you know, they're just mortals and they're just angry men and orcs and women and diamond creatures and stuff, and like dwarves, I guess you would just say. But you know, there could be a macro sense of this too. But I just find that very interesting, and I saw a lot of people complaining like the elements are failing Thrall again. But I think in some ways he realizes that he is failing the elements. He's not enough. Anduin's not enough for the light. Magni's not enough for Azeroth. Illyria is not enough for the void, because the void has not fully embraced her or whatever in a way that she wants or whatever. I don't know Illyria's story as well as the others, but I know that she went to the void like looking for answers and stuff like that. And I think that they feel like they are letting down people. They're letting down the people relying on them. They're letting down the, you know, their calling, the elements, the light, etc.
And in the end, your glorious fury will be mine.
Let's go back to here.
Mine.
All right. So what I loved about the cinematic, so this is Zeltalat, and what I love about this, and this is what the immediate thing that I got the very first time I watched this, is this reminded me of like an old school patch cinematic. I don't think that's probably a coincidence, but just the way that they hit, right? It's like 4 to 7 syllables each line, like a short little quick thing. And then a period or a pause, and then something else. And they're also kind of telling the story in like a linear way. Like in this case, they're telling you about 5 different people, but like they're saying the same thing. These are the heroes. They're failing their callings, right? Whether that's the elements or the light or whatever, Azeroth. That they feel like they're letting people down. They feel like they're letting themselves down. They have fury. They have frustration inside of them. And, you know, without those things, you are going to go back to your primal instincts, and that is going to be her. That's going to be the way that she can win. Is you're going to abandon the light, you're going to abandon the elements, you're going to just be frustrated, or she'll force those things to abandon you in some way, right? And but really, just kind of like how it's set up like that, like boom, this person, this person, this person, this person, they're all similar. Your glorious fury will be mine. And it just kind of reminded, like I said, like of an old cinematic, and one that's always burned into my head for a patch cinematic, right? Is like the Zoloman trailer from back in the day. And at the very end, he's like, "We gonna bury you here." And that's kind of what this reminded me of, right? It's not the same exact message, right? Your glorious fury will be mine. But it's just got that kind of thing where the villain is narrating it in this choppy but very like listenable way, and I really like that. I think it's a very good, just a very good way to lay something out, right? It's just it's going to hit more often than it does it when you just lay things out like this. It's very digestible, It's not like a bunch of hidden meaning. It's not a bunch of mystery, which is what we've been getting more and more with trailers. It's not whimsy. We've got a lot of whimsy, especially in the early Dragonflight stuff. A lot of whimsy in the trailers. This is, hey, I'm a big bad. I'm evil. I am coming for you. Look at all your heroes. They're nothing without their powers, and without their powers, all they're going to be is angry. And I'm going to take advantage of that in some way. Um, their fury will be mine, basically. And yeah, I really enjoyed the cinematic because of that. Now this isn't like a big time cinematic; it's just like a patch cinematic, right? So it's not going to be like the same quality as like the Anduin and Silithus or whatever, right? If you're looking for that, but I just love how simple it was. I love that the big bad's narrating it. I always love those cinematics better, where the bad guy is narrating it. I think those always hit better as well. It's not mystery, it's not whimsy. It's, hey, I'm here and I'm coming for you. So I really really liked it, and I hope they continue to go in this direction. Not because I don't appreciate the other types of cinematics, um, but because this is a way to like the whole audience is going to get it right. This is not uh super like even if you take it a different way than me and you take it as, oh, the light's betraying Anduin, the elements are failing Thrall. I kind of took it the opposite way of that, but even if you take it that way, it's still very straightforward. And let's say I'm wrong, it's not hard for me then to switch to the other side of that, right? Let's say, oh, the elements are failing him and this is why, and like they show that throughout the story of, she made the elements fail Thrall, she made the light abandon Anduin in some way. That, it's just the opposite but the same exact principle is what I'm laying out. So that's why it's easily digestible, because even if your assumptions are wrong, they're not going to be wrong by that much because it's very straightforward. So once again, I like this a lot. That'll be it for this one, though. As always, I do ask you to please subscribe to the channel because that helps me out a lot. And other than that, everybody have a good one.